A lot of people don't realize that electric semis are already on the road. Some people are still denying that they're the future, when in fact they're already the present. And I've got Kevin here with me from Peterbilt to have a quick chat just about EV semis generally, so you know what's going on. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. So what do we got here? What are we looking at?
What we're looking at is we have a Peterbilt 579.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Class 8.
That's a Class 8 standard drayage tractor. So that's the tractor that would basically move containers and standard dry vans, reefers, flat decks from point A to point B.
Normal hauling.
Absolutely.
And these are on the road today.
Yeah, they're on the road today. We've actually had a number of years of testing already done down in California at the Port of Los Angeles. We've probably had 5 to 6 years of real life experience and usage.
Yeah.
These units can haul 82,000 pounds.
Total, gross vehicle
Gross
weight.
vehicle, so the truck and the trailer and the load together.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the weight on them?
The weight, there's this weight probably on a day cab tractor like this with the batteries, there's about a 5,000 pound penalty over diesel. So that works out to be about 24.
24.
Yeah, 24,000 pounds. But you get an additional 2,000 pounds in the US and 3,000 pounds in Canada as far as allowable weight.
Well, with the exchange rate, you have to give them an extra 1,000 pounds. Now, now, are you a trucker yourself?
I have driven before.
You have driven.
I've sold the equipment.
How often would you say a truck is running at capacity anyway? How critical is that last 4,000, 5,000 pounds?
So this business model is based upon first mile, last mile. So typically your long haul trucker will bring a full load from point A to point B, from warehouse to warehouse. Then it'll be cross-docked and delivered to your corner store, your retail opportunity, your grocery store, things like that. This truck is designed for that first mile, last mile. It picks it up and consolidates the load, or it takes the load as it's been at the warehouse to the finished use.
It worked so well at the Port of Los Angeles, is we just need to get the container from here to the distribution center.
That's right.
And not...
That's right.
Yeah, or to the train yard so it can get to...
That's right.
It doesn't need to take it all the way to Baton Rouge.
That's right.
And so it's a day cab, and that makes sense because the range is probably what?
Well,
150,
200 miles,
200
so
miles.
300 plus 320 kilometers.
So you're going 3-4 hours in any direction.
Yeah, and the thing with,
and that's fully loaded.
And the thing with electric vehicles, of course, is it's always, you gain efficiency with regenerative braking.
Yes.
So highway speeds and full weights are your biggest drain on your batteries.
Right.
So if you are what's called LTL, or less than load, so if you have a partial load and you're delivering, you're going to get increased range. And then if you also are going over a range where you can brake, downhill, things like that, that actually goes back into your power source at about a 28% rate.
That's great. That's great. And that's a big thing. And then, of course, you're not going to burn through brakes at nearly the speed.
Yeah, actually, it's very similar to some cars that in flat conditions and optimum conditions, you can do one pedal driving. So you're not using your brakes. Your cost of operation and maintenance is going to be significantly less.
Have you driven one?
Yes, I've driven a number of them. They're very zen-like, very quiet.
Now, how would you compare the transmission on a one-speed electric Peterbilt to, say, how many gears are in those old ones?
Well, I used to drive an 18-speed transmission, and it was a manual, so you'd learn to select and skip, and you had to be a
an
professional.
artist.
Yes. This truck is actually, there is 2 gears in it, and it's a direct drive on the axles. The motor is not under the hood, the motor is actually on the axle.
On the axles.
Right.
Just like a lot of electric cars.
Yeah.
Almost all of them.
That's right. And so driving is much smoother. It
I
has
see it.
anti-slip. It's very, all electric vehicles have an increased torque efficiency. So that basically means the drive is smooth start. It gets up to speed quickly, and then can also reduce the speed, drain speed rapidly as well with regenerative braking.
Sure. And then you've got exceptional, best ever traction control.
Yes, it is, and basically all trucks nowadays have anti-slip. Like they have
Anti-jackknife? Is that a thing yet?
no, you still need you still need an operator who knows what he's doing
Sure.
on there. You can still have things go wrong, but what you find with this truck is your focus is able to be more on the road than anything else because you're not shifting gears. It is basically taking everything out of
How
hands.
smooth and quiet is the ride compared to a nice new diesel? Not an old clunker, not something, but a nice new one.
It's smooth and quiet enough that you will notice it more for the crunching of gravel going across the driveway than
Wow.
you will on the noise of the vehicle coming up and things
Wow.
like that. Especially with downspeeding, if you're in downspeeding and you have an engine brake on, an engine brake is quite loud.
I am aware.
Yes.
I hate that.
The regen has no sound.
No sound. No sound. Quiet purr at most. What kind of charging cables does it take? Something funky and proprietary, I imagine.
No, actually, we use a CCS1 standard.
Wow.
So it's similar to, the only thing is we usually need a higher voltage.
Sure.
Like a charge capacity that you have for your personal car, it would take about 18 hours to charge these batteries that way. With the high-speed chargers that we have, you would be charging in about 2.5.
So,
And that's
Yeah.
from 20% to 98% is
Wow.
about 2.5 hours charge time.
2.5 hours. And again, they're not for everybody, they're not for every use case, but with commercial trucking, you know what your use case is, and either it fits or it doesn't.
It's like anything else. There's an application for everything that is optimal. The optimal application for this is shorter distance,
High load.
shorter distance, less than full load, return to home base because then you come back to your charge facility on
Right.
a regular basis, and essentially significant stop and go duty cycle. So something that is ideal in an urban environment where there's lots of stop and go traffic and you're still needing to move a high volume of product.
So from the train yard to my distribution center is perfect because it's
Yeah.
20 miles, 30 miles,
That's right.
and it's retail goods, so they're not boxes of rocks.
Yep.
And they're going to be back tonight, and even if a lot of industrial lots have the juice already on site.
Yeah, you need to have phase 3 in order to put a charger in
To get the
place.
full kind of
Yep.
the full shebang.
Yeah.
How many of these have been sold? Do you have any idea on that?
I don't offhand in BC here right now. We have these 2 units. This truck is actually in use with a fleet. We cleaned it up and brought it into for this show.
Can I open the door?
Yep, absolutely. But this is a working truck on a daily basis, similar to the one beside it. The one beside it is a smaller medium duty truck, slightly smaller range. This is more a P&D unit that you would see running around town delivering to smaller stores and things like that.
Sure. And how long have these been commercially available somewhere?
We've been in development and design over 5 years, and we've been on the market for 2, where we have trucks released. The lead time and, of course, delays due to COVID and things like that
Sure, there
have
been
slowed
parts
things.
and-
But what we're finding is we can deliver in anywhere between 4 to 6 months from a cold order right now. We have trucks on order for other existing customers, and we have additional stock units coming in as well. So,
And do you know how long they've been selling them in the U.S.? Like,
well, same period. Like
so development 5
yes,
years, but they've been on the road for
2.
not counting the port of law, not counting the test vehicles.
Yes.
A couple years.
Yes, exactly. They've been commercially available to be sold and licensed independently, like not test vehicles, for over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
Yep,
Again, it's not the future; it's today.
that's right.
So if you need one, place an order, and you will get one. It's not a dream; it's something that's going to be happening fairly soon.
That's right.
And this is all, I assume, what, the hydraulics or what is?
No,
what,
this is actually what
Battery
this is called is
management?
this controls the thermal management on the batteries and also your in-cab controls. So you still have a lot of the traditional components you would have on a truck that run on a 12-volt system that is not on a DC volt system, like a DC system. And we still have to operate. We just put it under the hood because we have that available space.
Right. Because then you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, you have air compressors,
How
rear
big is the
brakes,
battery?
things like that. These batteries are basically 400 kilowatts.
400 kilowatt.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And I assume they're the high nickel, lithium, normal kind of deal.
Yeah, the battery materials vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. The trick
Right.
is
I just mean they're not the lithium iron phosphate because you need the extra
That's right.
punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd say in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Leave it, because that's how we figure out what we're talking about. I do want to thank Kevin for participating and sharing some time and telling us that, again, the future's now. It's time to do it. So stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the next one.